They escorted me with a very big bag of medication and told me, now you're diabetic. I am one of those people who got COVID jab. Yeah, they took my blood, but I noted my weight had reduced by about 4 kilos. I'll go from the first floor to 19 in the morning when I'm getting to work.
She is such an encouragement, and we thank God for her.
Welcome to the Umai Herb Festival.
My name is Betty Kibara, and before I begin to give my testimony, and can you come? Just come over. I want you to confirm. Just give her my results from Dr. Katambo's clinic.
A 3-monthly monitoring is recommended in clinical management of diabetes. 5.8, HbA1c 5.8%, less than 6 is normal, and so it's normal. Hemoglobin actually tells you how well somebody has managed their blood sugar over a long time, because you can just come for that day and you happen to manage your blood sugar in the past 24 hours. And so we think that your blood sugar is fine. But the glycosylated blood sugar tells us how it has been managed over time. So hers is 5.8 and the normal is less than 6. So she's doing very well. Thank you.
I want to ask a few questions about diabetes. The first question, how many people globally have diabetes?
1 billion.
1 billion. Yeah, the number of people who have diabetes globally is 800 million, almost a billion. My second question before I give my testimony, how many people are diabetic in Kenya?
1 million.
All right, 1 million people in Kenya have diabetes. How long does it take for someone to be diabetic?
I think 10 years.
10 years. It's between 10 and 20 years actually. The other question, the cost of diabetes. Okay, she says between 10 to 20,000. So let's take the upper hand, because when diabetes shows up, it comes with its sisters. It has many complications. I've spent 10 million. The last question is diabetes patients and people should eat many times. Is it true or false? You eat few times, not many times. There's a lot of misconception. The package of seeds which you have gotten, each one of you have 50 seeds, I think. And the seed is very interesting seed. So it's safflower seeds, and you can Google to find out what safflower is used for, but it's a fantastic flour that you can consume. The seeds, you can get oil from it, and you can get vegetable from it, and it's soon going to become one of the biggest industry in Kenya, I do believe. I'm here to share a testimony about my journey towards diabetes. Process of mingling with people, I got COVID. We all were coughing, we were sneezing, but when I was tested, when we came back home, I got COVID. I got COVID. So when I recovered from COVID and I needed to go back to work, the office told me we need a letter to show that you're free from COVID. And so I went to AR in Gong, and they took my blood, but I noted my weight had reduced by about 4 kilos. And I asked the doctor, the nurse who was attending to me, why am I losing weight and I'm just at home? I was doing nothing, I was just sleeping. And so when my results came, the doctor told me, he called me and he looked at me, when things are not going well with you can tell. I looked at the doctor, I looked at his face, he was looking like, so I thought maybe I'm dying from COVID. And he said, madam, we have to repeat the test. And I asked him, which test? He looked at me, asked me, Betty, can you see me? He gave at me. I said, I can see you. And then the next question he asked me was, how did you come here? And I say, I drove. I was with my son. Then he says, let's repeat this test for your sugar, because your sugar is very high. It was around 18 moles per liter. You're not supposed to have more than 10. So the doctor then put me on insulin, and And then after that, I was given 2 insulin bottles. I stayed in the hospital the whole day. And in the evening, they escorted me with a very big bag of medication and told me, from now you're diabetic. The following day, I went to the same hospital and I requested to see an older doctor. There is some wisdom with the older doctors. And so when I met the doctor, he said, Betty, I know your record. You don't have a record of being so sick. We can work this out. So he introduced me to a nutritionist, and we set up a WhatsApp between me, the doctor, and the nutritionist. And I was doing everything else you have had everyone stay here. And the sugars went down from 18, 15, 13, all the way, alafu nikakwama. I got stuck at about 9 in the morning, which is not so good. And I didn't know what to do. I went to Tanzania and met one young man and who introduced me to intermittent fasting. And then I still got bothered because I was like, I'm walking, I'm eating good, but there's something which is still not right. And so when I was fasting, I was praying. One night I had a dream. I know many people don't believe in dreams, but my husband is here. He sleeps next to me, he can tell you. And I woke up in the morning and I told him, I've had a dream. And in this dream, I saw myself in hospital, and the doctor told me, I'm not going to give you medication, I'm going to give you herbs. And they took me to their hospital clinic, the farm. There was a garden with herbs, and the nurse opened the door and told me, your healing is going to come from the herbs. So I was like, healing from herbs? I was actually shaking. I don't know whether my sister is there because I shared with her the dream. And so the following day when I woke up, I started Googling. Google herbs and diabetes. And then, Dr. Google is very clever. So he's able to pull out information from everywhere. And at that point, that's when I saw the Herbal Festival. And I was like, okay, there are herbs. There are people who have Herbal Festival in this country. And I came here last year. I walked, I didn't even know Koi. I remember just seeing this beautiful girl with very decorated hair, like, you're looking very nice, can you clap for Koi? Herbs, it's looking so nice. And it caught my eye, and then after, seated like all of you who are seated here, they talked about the herbal detox, and there was someone who had given a testimony. I think it was your mom. Someone had given a testimony. At that time, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know Koi, I didn't know Zippy. And so I paid. I was with my friend, Marianne. And we said, okay, I'm going to pay and I want to give it a try. Let me tell you, I can tell you, I never cheated even one day. I followed religiously. By the time I was done, diabetes was gone. I want to make it clear that when we say you have diabetes reversal, it's a reversal. That means it can come back. If I go back to my old ways, it can come back. And but for today, and the moderator, you have to be patient with me. I'll not take too long. The message I want to communicate to all of you, it is not one thing. It's actually not just the herb. It's a whole thing. I have about 20 things I can share, many more, but I would only limit myself to 20 things that I have done to reverse diabetes. So first thing you need to do is build your knowledge. Don't wait for people to give you knowledge. You can look for it. Now, the second thing I did, when you look at me right now, I'm in my 50s, and I actually lost 10% of my weight. So make sure you have the right BMI. The visceral fat is not very good for you because it puts a lot of pressure on your vital organs. So just making sure that you are working on reducing your weight. Another thing I've done, restricted feeding. Sometimes one meal a day, sometimes I can fast 24 hours, I can do 36 hours, just to make sure that I'm managing my insulin. Whole grain. The beauty of whole grain is that hiyo grain kama mahindi, it has what you call the bran and the jam. Bran ni ngozi ya nje, and the jam is at katan. It is 5 times more nutritious, and it also provides a lot of raffages that really helps to lower your sugars. Complex carbs, if you can keep to the complex carbs, like you know what those are, the dumas and the gouaches and all that. But remember one thing, even those ones you have to do them with measure. Even when you're eating doma, don't put a mountain of doma. because your body doesn't know. It knows it will still convert it to sugar. The oils, we have had as a family to adjust our oil. We do olive and coconut oil. Now, to the herbal detox, really worked for me. You also have to introduce something fermented. Yeah, keep it fermented. We have a lot of examples here. We do kefir, it's the fermented milk. Sauerkraut, we do this, and we did this during the detox. So make sure every day, at least you have consumed something which is fermented, because it brings the good bacteria and good gut microbiome. Veggies, vegetables, that's another one. Making sure you're having half of your plate is vegetables. Another thing, I had to do away with sugar. Mumia sugar. I took 4 spoons of sugar and drank tea like 4 times a day. I think that's what happened. Now, walking, staying active. I do 10,000 steps a day. Lunchtime, instead of staying in the office gossiping and talking, I just step outside, get my vitamin D, and I do walk. I do about 4,000 to 5,000 steps at lunchtime. My building where I work is 19 floors. I'll go from the first floor to 19 in the morning when I'm getting to work. The other thing, of course, jumping, trampoline, a bit of gym. And then the other thing I want to say is measurement. I try and keep track of my sugars. I keep track of my weight. So keep track of your weight, because the weight and the sugars and everything, because they say what gets measured gets managed. Now, the order of the food. It's always recommended you do your veggies first and create a mattress for your food. So that by the time you are done with your veggies, then the next layer you do is the protein, and then you can top it up with any starch that you need to add. Also talk about stress. Stress is the other thing. Managing stress. Stress can also bring a lot of sicknesses. Just making sure that you're managing stress. And then sleep. Sleep is very important. Doing 7 to 8 hours. I try to sleep for those hours, not all the time. Now, the first week I mentioned vitamin D. So I also do quite a bit of supplements. Vitamin D, C, K2, zinc, magnesium, and all those. And then the other thing before I finish, support group. I formed a support group. I just wanted to inspire people, so I post, we share a lot. It's a knowledge platform where even Umai Health is also added in, and we really have seen a lot of transformation among that group. Then in the morning I try and do warm water. And so in a nutshell, that is not all. I mean, it's just a very small part of what I've shared. And the reason why I have packaged myself like that is that when I became diabetic, you get a lot of small information here and there. You come to a meeting like this, everyone is saying, oh, take this herb, it's going to heal you. But I've just thought I need to package all my learnings and my experience. And I have a book which is coming up, hope by next time when we're doing the next Umai, we should be able to launch the book. But I'm forever grateful, and I want to say that it is not one thing. As I finish, it is not one thing. So don't go here. I'm not saying you don't buy anything from all these people, but I'm saying it is a combination of many things that you need to do. So let no one tell you, take this pill, is the one which is going to heal you. It is a lifestyle change, and we need to all change the way we live. So with those few remarks, I want to leave you with an African proverb. I love African proverbs, and the one that I'm leaving you with, when the bush is on fire, the chameleon must abandon the majestic walking styles of his ancestors. There are things we have learned when we were growing up. You think bread is the best thing you can throw in your mouth every morning. You think, as you get educated, the best thing you can do is all this junk food and all that. But we must change the walking styles of our ancestors so that we can get to where we're going. So I'm very, very excited about this moment, and thanks so much, Koi and the team, for inviting me today. Once again, you have not paid me to give my testimony. As I finish, I still have one more packet of 50 seeds of safflower. And I want someone who is bold enough, who can mention at least five things that one can do if you're diabetic.
Okay, so some of the points that she has given, she's talked about seeking knowledge, so we need to seek knowledge. She's talked about efforts towards reducing your visceral fats, I suppose exercise and all that. Time-restricted feeding, where you just eat within a certain window. She also mentioned that she has one meal a day. I suppose that's part of the feeding process. Eating less processed food, no processed foods, and focusing more, if you have to have carbs, on complex carbs. Introducing fermented food into your diet. Fermented.
Health, your wealth forum, when her results were very positive, and every day she posts her results, the diabetic result, and it is always 5 point something. So she is such an encouragement, and we thank God for her.
Before Betty sits down, I want to say a big thank you to Betty. Yeah, we met Betty here the last season, and she told me, make sure that you call me because I'm very serious about it. I won't dwell much, but I want to say, Betty, thank you so much. You have kept us at Umai also grounded. We also learned a lot from you. It is true, the first time you realize you have something is wrong with you, seek the knowledge, and Betty, you have kept us grounded, and we appreciate you in great ways. Thank you so much.
Asante sana. Thanks so much.